Must be very hard when someone close to you kills themselves. You're gonna put yourself into a lot of pressure. That reminds me of something. I want to talk about something. I share everything with chat. You know, my dad. I want to talk about my dad for a second. My dad. Oh man, where do you start? I don't want to go too deep. Let's have a story time, because I want to hear what chat says. You know, every 90s kids, people that are born in the 90s, something connects them. At least where I'm from. At least it's an East German thing. This is actually a big East German cultural thing. Our dads, Lisa's dad, my dad, a lot of people I know, they're very often very likely to be alcoholics. Why? Because the men from the GDR, they didn't really handle the fall of the wall. They lost their jobs, they lost their entire culture, everything they ever believed in. And a lot of males that are between 45 and 60 right now are big alcoholics. I don't know if it's the same in your country, but so many alcoholics, right? And my dad, man, he had a very hard childhood, bro. He started smoking when he was 16, started drinking when he was 16, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, my dad is a beautiful human being. I love that guy, even though he never had much. He also isn't the most intelligent. That's just the truth. Even though he never had much going for him, he always tried his best to be there for his family. For me, the greatest dad ever. I could never talk shit about my dad. But my dad is pretty much everyday drunk. And yeah, there's these phases in life. There's two ways what you can do there, right? Because here we go. The story is, here we go. Me and Lisa are watching a TV show right now called This Is Us. Very, very big TV show. Lots of stuff. And it's a lot about alcoholism, and the dad is an alcoholic. And this character is an alcoholic, and then everybody tries to save him. And it doesn't really work out, right? And then I get a message from my dad, right? And I'm listening to the message openly with my dad, with Lisa, and my dad is just drunk, right? And he's like, Tommy, I love you so much, man. I love you, bro. And it's really sad to me, right? I love my dad, and he's just really drunk again. And we were just watching that episode, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I've been sitting on that couch. I've been thinking like this for 20 years, man. I now am more fortunate. I have financial means, and we have a lot of love in this family. And I always feel like, can I do something? I don't know if this is clever to share with chat, because you guys don't know the full story. You're going to be like, you help him. But I feel like there's unhelpable cases, man. I feel like someone like my dad, who's been in so much shit his entire life, who's been drinking for 30 years, you can't get them out. I don't know what to do. I often think about this. If I give my dad money, he's just gonna buy cigarettes and alcohol, and, you know? If I give him money and say it's not for alcohol, he will not listen to me. I don't know. I sometimes, if one day he will die because of alcoholism,
of course,
which this reminded me just of, that's why I go into this. If one day my dad dies of his alcoholism, which is very fucking likely, bro, his body can't handle this forever, how will I feel? Will I feel guilty? That's something I think about. Because in a weird way, he's an adult. I can't save him totally, but I will feel like, could I have done more, you know? Like last year, my dad had a complete breakdown. His girlfriend left him, and he was completely fucked. Oh my god, these stories, man. That's real ghetto stuff. I was driving through the hood looking for my dad, and then I saw him walking around somewhere like a zombie, and I was just putting him in. And for the first time ever in my life, last year, I remember. Oh no, earlier this year. For the first time in my life, I saw my dad cry, and he was just falling apart. And there I said, listen, Dad, I will totally pay for you to go. You know, there's these things where you go to the woods for 1 month and you live in this hospital and they take care of your alcoholism. But every time I tell him, bro, he's like, rehab. He's like, I don't want this, fuck that, blah, blah. And I feel like my dad will just relapse. Lisa comes from a more educated family. She says, hey, if there's problems, you should see a psychologist. My dad is an old, toxic, masculine GDR roofer, man. He will never listen to a guy like this. It's a weird situation for me. I don't know what I should do, you know? Like, I'm showing as much love as I can. I always help him. I always call him. I chill with him a lot. I always pay his bills and stuff. I love that. Easy. But I always feel like, could I do more? And if something happens, will I feel guilty? How do you guys feel about this? Do you guys have 100% like my dad? You see, dude, this is such a big thing. That alcoholism among dads is such a big thing, man. Holy fuck, man. Alcoholism among dads is such a big thing. This whole generation, man, is so... I feel bad for them. I'm always the guy who says, you're your own fucking... It's your life, man. You gotta fix it. But, man, this whole GDR generation is so fucked, bro. So fucked. I wonder what our drug will be in 20 years. I don't think we will have this. But me and Lisa, we talk about this. We have alcoholic fathers. I don't think we will ever become addicted to stuff like that, because we never had this bad of a life. We never had hot childhood. Dude, we're Zoomers. We're millennials. We had amazing lives, you know? It's much less likely that we become alcohol addicted than these guys. I would say he needs to want it deep inside. That's the thing, though. Here's the thing about... I know something about alcoholism. I've been around my whole life. When you look at a true alcoholic like my dad, deep inside, and that is the dark truth of this shit, even though it hurts to say, they want to die. This sounds so fucking weird, right? But my dad never had it easy, bad childhood, lost his job. I told you the story where his back broke and the workplace fucked him over, so he can never work again because his back broke. He never got any money. A whole life just of fuck-ups. And then his alcoholism led to the worst thing ever happening to him, my mom leaving him. My mom is an angel. Whoever calls my mom girlfriend or wife is blessed. She's the greatest woman ever. And losing my mom 3 years ago destroyed him. And every time I look at him and I feel like, should I help this guy? I feel like deep inside, this guy does not want help. There's so much pain in that person. He wants to smoke and drink because deep inside he wouldn't mind if something happens. You know what I mean? It's the saddest fucking shit on earth, bro. But I don't know. I see him on Christmas 26th, and I'm going to ask him right there. I'm going to ask him, will you ever consider going to rehab if I fully paid for you? And I think he's just going to say, I don't need this shit. Fuck you. I don't know. Just be emotional support. I try that a lot. I always call him if you have any problems. I'm here for you. Stuff like that. Talk to him about it. Have a healthy conversation. Yeah, dude, I do that, but it's hard to have educated conversations with people like this. Because people like my dad, this whole generation, and their uneducatedness, they never learned, and that's something Lisa told me, and it's true. If I look at these workers, these working class people, they never learned emotions and how to handle them. Their parents never teach them how to talk about their emotions and what to do about it and stuff. Our generation, I know what to do, right? I have to talk to people. But these people, like my dad, they never learned how to talk. They eat it all up. There's not much you can do if the other party isn't willing to. I don't think you can change this. They learn to lie about their feelings, man. Show them the good life, side of life. Go on vacation with him. I actually want to do it. I had to plan this year. Very good idea. I had a plan this year to go on vacation with my dad. But that would be cringe. I love my dad. But if I would, let's say me and my dad go to Austria, just having a cool time hiking. My dad, at 4 p.m., he will be like, Tommy, I have to go. And he will start drinking or something. And I will just cringe, man. It's hard. Tommy, you're a good son. Don't feel bad if you don't feel like you can't do anything. He helped you get where you are. And if you feel like you can't give back, he will love you for it. I agree with you. I think in the end, what I can do, or anyone out there with a situation like this, is you just can show love and support. But yeah, I'm just scared that in the next 10 years something's gonna happen. His body will not handle this much longer. I feel like every day just drunk, every day for fucking 30 years. One day something's gonna happen, and I just wonder if I will have a clean mind then. That's my thing. Yeah, this scene in Cyberpunk just reminded me of it. That's why I came around with this. When people give themselves their fault, maybe get your brother into this. The more he also takes good care. You might have to force him into rehab or something. But here comes the final point I want to make. Let's say, theoretically, I sent my dad to rehab one month. Fully paid. He's clean, right? What happens after rehab?
Pussy.
Why do people relapse?
Feels
My
sad
dad
to hear I had my father fall off his truck and break his neck, but he got back up and got back to work. He
Jesus,
has made
what?
sure I never had the same hardships. I hope your father comes around. I don't believe people should think that they are isolated.
Your father fell off a truck and broke his neck? Jesus Christ, man. Thank you, Joe, for the 5. God damn, all the best to you. What? I just wanted to say something. My final point here. So, my dad is done with rehab. Or let's say an addict. Let's go away from my dad overall. This person goes back into their old life, chilling with their old friends, going to their ghetto apartment. He will go back to this old life where the pain is still there. Oh, my beautiful wife left me. I can't work. I'm fucked. You could give my dad a year of rehab. If he goes back to this, I feel like it's completely mind. I'm planning. This is something show World of Warcraft. Get him an education. But the guy's 60 years old, man. You think he wants to go to school right now? I don't know. This Christmas, I will talk to him. I will be like, listen, man, this is not so cool. Maybe we can do something. But yeah, I don't know it's going to go anywhere. Anyway, thanks for listening. In my life, I've met a lot of people that have problems like this with alcoholic fathers. Man, it's a big thing, and it's a positive thing that
you can do as a son is learn from his mistakes, not to be the man he has.
I was just about to say that.
Become and treat Lisa with respect.
Foreskin, thank you for the sub. I was just about to say that. I think in the end, when you have parents like this, I mean, everybody out there has their own story. You have an abusive mom, you have an alcoholic dad, whatever it is to learn from it and not get fucked by it. That's the kind of beautiful and positive thing, even though I don't want to talk shit about my dad. My dad has always been a great human being. When me and Lisa will have kids, they will have it much easier. They will most likely not have an alcoholic father. They will have a dad who respects their mom, stuff like that, right? It's like we learn from the mistakes of our parents if we do it right. A lot of people also get under the bus, right? I think that's the moral here. You need to learn from these mistakes so you don't do them.
Would have found a way.
And dad will be addicted to Hoi 4, that's even worse. So yeah, sorry if... I don't know, I just wanted to talk about this. I'm thinking about this a lot lately. What can you do there?
Gotta do something with her.
Like, the thing is just... Sorry, final point is that, again, I don't want to sound arrogant, I'm just honest. I now have certain financial means. I have some money now. And even though I have money now, it doesn't change anything. You can't help this person. I always thought when I was younger, oh, one day I will be rich and I will carry them all. My dad is gonna feel... I'm gonna buy him a house, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work like that. I could give my dad $1 million right now. It wouldn't change anything. Something I understood, man.
Don't want any trouble. I'm calling the badges.
Your kids will also have a WoW addicted dad?
Can you carry her to the bed?
Dad, can you help us? Shut up, I'm streaming! I need to raid! Never forget my first corpse in law school, man. It was an old man, an old fat man who died. He looked like an alien, man. Why are there corpses in law school? Because you have to go to autopsies. When you do your internship at court, you can if you want to. You don't have to. You can go to autopsies. And I went there. I wanted to... I've always been a guy who wants to make himself stronger. And I wanted to look at corpses so I don't get shocked if I ever see one, you know? Like, I wanted to build up... That sounds weird. I wanted to build up resilience. I wanted to... You know, I wanted to look at corpses so I'm not afraid of them or something. So I become stronger. Thank you, Nathan.
TommyKay, LOL.
And everyone who knows about corpses knows. Corpses are not that bad. Looking at them is not that bad. The bad thing about dead motherfuckers is smell. The smell is really bad. I had the smell of that fat dead guy in my nose for 4 weeks, man. My brain remembered it. That's super crazy, man.
Want to hold on to it?
You're kind of weird, Tommy. It's just
No.
facts, bro.
You seem to like it. Keep it. Kind of glad it's
I wanted
you
to
that
look at
has it,
corpse.
actually.
I wanted to see what it's like cutting up a human and what's going on there. And when you see that stuff, you realize, like they say in movies and stuff, we're just a sack of fucking meat, bro. And in a weird way, very simple, man. I don't know. The human body is very... I don't know, it felt simple to me. That's the heart, and that's how you take it out, bro. And that's how you die.
I let her
Thank you,
down.
psychosocial, man.
I thought if I gave her some space or time, she'd get back on her feet.
Tommy's a psycho.
Stay strong, Judy. Don't let this tear you
I
down.
found my father-in-law when he hung himself.
Pussy.
Dude, yeah, that shit, bro. Fucking hell.
You know what?
This is truly the channel of
Let's
being
just not
honest to
say
each other, right?
anything for a minute.
Stuff like that you never forget. Stays with you forever. When I saw my grandpa's, like, my grandpa was the only dad in my life yet who
Her
really hurt.
condition couldn't
And
think about anything
my mom
else.
found him and
Tech-wise, she was
he still
clean.
laid
The
there,
all
man.
shard
You
was
never
operational,
forget that.
uncorrupted.
Never.
So
When someone dies that's close to you,
psychological
that
trauma
never
had
goes
to be
away.
that. Did some
It
more
gets
digging,
easier,
her
but never
virtues
goes away.
Found woodland.
You know, I'm a very hard guy. I always say that. I never cry. I'm really hardcore. I can see ISIS beheading videos. I don't care, man. I'm very hardcore. But nowadays, like my grandpa died 2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago. Nowadays, when me and Lisa watch a movie and there's a scene where a person... For example, there's a scene, someone goes to the bedroom and a person lays in bed and they're like, hey, wake up, wake up. Johnny, wake, Johnny? And then they realize the person's dead and they start crying. That's when I get teary, man. I've never was like that. I've always been so hard. But because I now have a connection to this, because I always imagine my mom found my grandpa. My mom, every day my mom went to my grandma to take care of him, give him food and stuff, right? And she went in and he was on the ground. And she told me, she completely panicked, she cried, she took him, like in a movie, she took him like, oh my god, oh my god. I'd never seen that, right? She told me. So every time I now see a movie where something like that happens, I imagine how my mom must felt like, and then I get teary-eyed, man. That shit stays with you forever, man.
Yet.
Okay, one sec. First of all, Anti, with $1, thank you. Finally got my economy the way I wanted it, and I could sub for you. First, question which doesn't relate to this topic, but what is your thoughts on psychedelic research for helping depression? Cheers from Finland. I'm not educated on that. I heard some Joe Rogan podcasts on it. I think there's a country, I think the USA is actually starting to... They want to cure depression with weed or something. It now becomes a clinical thing. There was a Joe Rogan podcast, and there was this psychiatric girl, and they will soon be able to legally give depression patients drugs or something. DMT even. I think they even talked about DMT. You will soon be able to give depressed people DMT under a controlled environment with a professional. Something like that. But I'm not educated on that. I don't know. Thank you, Foreskin, for $5 Canadian. So dark this morning, Tommy. Here's a happy cue for you. My girlfriend has asked me to propose to her. What? And I'm ready. As soon as I get a ring. Do you or Chad have any cool ideas for how I ask her? Have you asked Lisa yet? I haven't asked Lisa yet. I don't know when I will do that. I don't know. It's hard for me, man. Because to me, marriage isn't so important. But Lisa says, and she's right. Tommy, you have to propose to me one day. Because that proves that you're ready to settle down. Like Lisa always says, listen, Tommy, I'm ready to live my life with you. And she always says, when you propose to me, I know that you're also fully ready. Stuff like that. But I can't help you with that. And I think you shouldn't ask Chad for help. You know your girlfriend the best. You guys have your own thing. And I think you will find a solution, man. Fuck.
You know,
do there has to be like 14-year-olds watching this channel, nothing bad ever happened to it, and they're like, what? People are dying? What? Quarters look weird?
Not to live in the present.
People are hanging themselves?